I was about to finish my bachelor in product development 6 months ago, and I was hyped. Man, no more homework, full-time income, no more retail part-time jobs, and no more sitting in boring, soul-sucking classroom lectures. Maybe I could do some 3D work and get a higher bonus at the company. You get the point. I was excited as but here's how one internship opened my eyes, like I just swallowed the red pill Morpheus offered, and hit me so hard with a roundhouse kick of reality that I needed to rethink my entire trajectory of a future. This is my story. Quick disclaimer, this story is told from my experience and does not represent the work life in general. Part 1. You'll see what you turn into. Have you ever heard the quote, staying in the wrong place doesn't just cost time, it costs who you could have become? It's like you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And that might be true for most workplaces. When I started my 10 weeks internship, I noticed two things instantly. Number 1, 98% in the company was like 12 years older than me, so the dynamic was already off. And 2, most people were big. Not obese, but we're talking a big stomach locked in place by a belt. Listen, I know people have busy lives. I'm just saying, there is a point where it's just neglecting your own health. But the physical appearance was just the icing on the top. I remember sitting with some people from my department at lunch, and being the introvert I am, I just observed. And man, even if I wanted to say something, I couldn't. I swear, the subject changed every 15 seconds. And I don't know how normal this is, but if they talked about a topic I could add something to, oh well, you're 15 seconds too late, I guess. But because I was new, and let's just be honest, a bit naive, when they actually talked to me at the table, I asked about things like how they planned their day, how cool it was to have a full-time income, and what could I look forward to when I was done studying myself. And the answer I got, in a joking way, was, you peak at 25, then your life goes downhill. Or, hey, I also thought becoming an adult was awesome, but then I became one. Now, this was absolutely a joke. But I think there is a bit of truth in every joke. But one thing that really made my blood boil was hearing people talk about their dreams, but then you realize they don't have any plans to achieve them. I remember saying something like, you can do this, or I started with this so it might work for you. But then the conversation moved on and I never got an answer. 15 seconds a topic, right? And I couldn't help it. All these things combined made me think, is that it? Is this my life the next 40 years? And the most important one, I don't care what happens. I can't let my own health go. I worked too hard to get shredded.
But what about the job tasks, right? They were fun, right?
Actually, yeah. But this is where I discovered something else. Part 2. Working with what you love might be a nightmare. I was hired to make components in SolidWorks, and if you have seen this video, you know that SolidWorks and Blender work well together. So I decided to do something unexpected. I arranged a meeting where I told the marketing team, hey, I'm really good at product animation, so if you need someone to do that, just come and chat with me. And to my surprise, they actually did. So the last 4 weeks I worked with SolidWorks parts in Blender, where I made an animation that showed how one of their products worked. Heck yeah! You're telling me I'm getting paid? Oh wait, unpaid internship. But I'm able to work independently in Blender while listening to a podcast? Fantastic! I had weekly meetings with the marketing team to show progress, get feedback, and make changes. Now, this animation was one of the more time-consuming ones, because it involved a fully rigged character. But there wasn't any major problems, so I continued working with it. But this is where the spark burned out. On my last week, I was called in for a last revision meeting. And the animation was done. I used a bit of free time to complete it. No big deal. But with one sentence, my excitement got crushed.
We're impressed with the animation. It clearly demonstrates how our product should be used. However, could you swap out the character? We can't use this human character due to legal and marketing reasons. Can you turn it into a gray blob?
Can I? You got to be kidding me. I then politely explained that if they wanted another character, I had to find a new character and reanimate the entire thing. There was no quick fix for this specific issue, so they thanked me for my time, but discarded the project. But I was also tasked with a little project animation the same time that ended up being approved. So at least I did something. But man, I was disappointed. It now hit me why so many 3D artists works independently on YouTube and why Hollywood VFX artists most of the time are burned out. Because these things take time. And when you're taking orders from somebody who don't really know how much time actually goes into your work, you get things like rushed effects or people who can't tell the difference between a quick fix and a couple days of work. But let's move on to the last part. Part 3. The blessing disguised as a curse. When I look back at my internship, I'm honestly glad that I've been through it, because the main focus of an internship is to get real-world work experience. And I did that, but I got most personal growth experience. I said in the beginning that I was naive at the time, because I thought that if I did what I enjoyed for a living, no amount of bad coworkers, tight deadlines, and shitty managers could get me down. This experience might have saved me for getting into a job role I thought was exciting, but really wasn't. So, if you're still watching this video, I'm very thankful. But I also want you to take this message to heart. Use your 20s to try different things so you know what you want when you reach your 30s. This can save you a lot of headache later in life. And to any 3D artist out there, keep improving, never give up, and remember to look back at where you started.